Happy May the 4th. Keep it here.
What's up, my fellow YouTubies, and happy Star Wars Day. So for this video, I wanted to do something a little interesting. So if you've been watching a majority of my channel, you know that I'm not just a huge fan of Star Wars, I'm a huge fan of Legos. And over the last 10 years, I've been getting all sorts of Lego Star Wars sets from any moment in the franchise that you can really think of. And they actually played a huge role into getting me engaged into Star Wars, because if your toys could actually allow you to live into the moment with any kind of movie genre that you're actually watching. So they actually helped me get engaged into this whole world of Star Wars. So for this video, I'm gonna cover every Lego set that I've gotten in the Skywalker saga, from all the way back in Phantom Menace all the way up to Rise of Skywalker. Well, actually, I don't have any sets from Rise of Skywalker, mostly because from that year timeline it came out, I didn't really end up getting a lot of sets in that engaged me and triggered me from Rise of Skywalker. But I'll say I have some sets from Phantom Menace all the way up to Last Jedi. And keep in mind, point of reference, some of these sets I haven't touched in almost 5 years, so there are going to be a lot of Lego bricks probably missing from each of them. So if you're somebody who has had some of these Lego sets before, you're probably going to notice that there are some pieces missing, or some pieces might be out of line. But if you're a senior in high school, going through construction for 30 plus Lego sets isn't exactly going to be a priority. I also want you to be aware that this does only include I also want you to be aware that I actually have over a ton of Lego Star Wars sets, so I nerfed it down to everything included in the Skywalker saga. So I'm not including any sets from Clone Wars or anything from Solo: A Star Wars Story or Star Wars Rebels. This is only everything inside of the Skywalker saga. Anyway, with all that said in mind, let's get into the video.
We're going to start this list off going chronologically with everything from Phantom Menace, and what I'm showing you right here is the multi-troop transport. This is what Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan used to sneak onto the planet of Naboo, and right next to it is Anakin's Naboo starfighter. This is what he used to blow up the giant space station. And right next to it is his pod racer, what he used to race Subulba with and win the pod race. And hiding right behind it is the AAT, and you notice the blaster piece on side of it is kind of missing. This is what Jar Jar Binks was climbing on in the Battle of Naboo. And over here is I believe it's called the Flash Speeder. It's a Naboo speeder jet. And to close out Phantom Menace here is this is the spot where Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon had the final battle with Darth Maul, and you know how it has the opening and closing piece. You guys, if there's a set from Phantom Menace that you would have wanted, it would have most likely been this set. Even though it's pretty small, it's pretty cool. So I have almost pretty much everything from every single scene of Phantom Menace. Well, I mean every setting, everything from Naboo over here, even Anakin's speeder from Tatooine, and then the final battle of Naboo up here. So anything you can think of from any sequence in Phantom Menace. My next collection from Attack of the Clones is actually pretty small. What I have right here is, if you're somebody who has been purchasing Legos recently, you might know that this one is probably the most recent. This is Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter from Attack of the Clones that he used to head over to Kamino with, as well as have that encounter with Jango Fett. And right next to it is the Spider Droid. This was used in the Battle of Geonosis. And right here, I believe this was also used in the Battle of Geonosis. This is supposed to be an AT-RT. I actually don't remember where I got this set from. It might have been from the Clone Wars, but hopefully not. This was used in the Battle of Geonosis. Next up is Revenge of the Sith. And when I was putting this collection together, I was surprised at how little of sets I got from the Revenge of the Sith. And so basically here, I got both Obi-Wan and Anakin's Jedi Interceptors. So you see the yellow and the red, and the droids are not in the cockpits. Not the cockpits. They're not in the seats at the moment. And next up, right here, is General Grievous's General Grievous's wheel bike set. This, of course, if you're somebody who grew up in the same Star Wars timeline as me, you know that this one had Obi-Wan and General Grievous included in the set, and basically it had General Grievous with a blaster, right? Or some. You guys get the idea. So that's pretty much everything from the prequels that I got right here. You can see the whole collection of sets that I have from the prequels up on the shelf. So next up, moving along to the original trilogy, I actually have a ton, not as much that I can think of from the sequels, but there's a ton of big ones that I know that I have from the original trilogy. Starting off right here, we have A New Hope, and right here in the corner is the escape pod that 3PO and R2 used to get to Tatooine. And let me see if I open it up, if I had the Death Star plans in there or not. Nope. Oh yeah, yes I do. If you remember, this set came with a couple C-3PO and R2-D2 and a couple of Jawas, so I guess I don't have the Death Star plans in there at the moment. So you get the idea. That was a small set, and next to it is the Mos Eisley Cantina. This was a huge one. I remember I got it way back in 2014. It comes all together with Luke's speeder and the dewback. There's no stormtrooper on it right now, and then the whole cantina put together, even with those the cantina band playing all together, and it had Han Solo. This was a huge one when I got it back in 2014. And right over here is the Millennium Falcon, and if you're looking closely at it, there's a little bit of construction work on it that might seem a little bit different, but almost a difference that can't even tell, that you can't really tell what's new and what isn't. This came out, I believe, back in 2011, and I would open it up and show you the rest, but that would add too much length to this video. Now, next up, moving along to The Empire Strikes Back, is the Imperial Star Destroyer. Now I know what you're thinking. The Star Destroyer was actually used in A New Hope, but I felt like it was a whole lot more prominent in The Empire Strikes Back, because in A New Hope it was used in that one opening scene. So I decided to keep it in the Empire Strikes Back collection. So this one, I guess I can't actually open it. You know that it opens in all together, and then there's those two pieces inside. There's a couple of stuff missing from the inside, so I'm just gonna leave that down. But if you've been a long time Lego viewer, then you know that this was the 2014 version of the Star Destroyer, if you're looking closely at it. Now, next up, what we have here is the AT-AT Walker. Everything pretty much covered from the Battle of Hoth. And this one, there's not a lot missing on this one. This was a set that I actually really love. I'm still learning how to make it walk. And you guys are probably aware that this was used in one of my other videos. I believe it was the AT-AT Walker set, where, yeah, if you guys watch the rest of my channel, you know that I have used this in one of my other videos. And right below it is the Snow Speeder. This was also in my other video, and this was also covered in the Battle of Hoth. And next to it, there are actually figures right here. There are the Snow Troopers, one on a speeder and one using this blaster piece. And right over here, this also came with that same Snow Speeder set, I believe. It was either the Snow Speeder or the AT-AT Walker set. These ones almost go together, but this was obviously the cannon that the Rebels used on the other side. And right over here is Yoda's hut, and there are pieces missing from the set that I don't entirely remember. You guys can of course see from the inside, we got Yoda's bed and Yoda's stove, and pretty much everything that covers the swamp setting. I don't know if there was anything else that came with the set, but I know it came with Luke, Yoda, and R2-D2. And right behind it is the carbon freezing chamber from Cloud City. And I have the Carbonite Han Solo right here, but no Han Solo inside of it. And I believe this one came with Boba Fett, Han, and an Ugnaught. This was a pretty small one. Now moving on to Return of the Jedi, we have everything from the Sarlacc pit. And I don't remember what year these two sets came out right here. But I know these all came in one. It came with the Sarlacc, and it also came with one of Jabba the Hutt's skiffs. This set had Han Solo, Boba Fett, and I think it had Chewbacca. And what we have right here is an AT-ST. And to be honest, I don't entirely think this set came from Return of the Jedi. It might have been from Rogue One, but if I remember correctly, either way, the ATSD was used in Return of the Jedi. So whether or not this was from Rogue One or not, whether or not I know which set this was, this does count as a Return of the Jedi set. So behind it right here is the Imperial shuttle, and this one came out of this counts as the Imperial shuttle that Han and Leia all used to basically to get past the blockade on Endor. The only reason I'm saying that is because of the way what this Lego set came with. This came with, I believe, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Chewbacca, and a couple of rebels. If based on what I've described, you guys probably know what set I'm talking about. Now you guys probably noticed that I skipped one earlier when I was going over everything from A New Hope, and that was the Lego Star Wars Death Star. So I decided to leave this with the Return of the Jedi collection, just so that it didn't take up too much space and it didn't feel like I was skipping one over, and also because the Death Star was also technically in Return of the Jedi, and because the Emperor's throne room is in this set also. And that was another reason why there's actually another version of the Emperor's throne room that I did not include in this collection, because it's just a whole lot bigger. It's just pretty big, and there's a lot of construction that I need to do for that one. So I have that one, but I decided if I'm gonna review like one of these throne rooms, then I might as well just leave the entire Death Star all together, so you guys can see that it has the super laser cannon and everything else included. What I have right here is the Skywalker family. Darth Vader, get back up. So you guys probably are aware that this is the Lego set of my YouTube channel right here. This is the set that is frequently used in a majority of my videos. And you guys notice with the fit I have up here, if you watch some of my videos, you know that this is what I use as Luke's room with the TV. And here we got Grand Moff Tarkin just sitting, chilling here. So this is a pretty cool set. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is the kind of Lego set that you want to get. If you're somebody who really wants the Lego Death Star, it averages around like up to at least $400-ish. So if you're somebody rich, this is a set that you want to get if you're a Lego Star Wars fan. So that concludes at least Return of the Jedi and everything from the original trilogy. And my collection from the sequels is pretty small. In fact, one of them isn't even built. I have this Lego set, but I don't exactly have it built altogether. I have Rey's speeder, but this isn't exactly put together inside of the collection. I wish I had proof that I can show you that I have it. But well, I guess I do have a little bit of proof. It's not exactly put together, but this is a set that I got way back in 2015 when The Force Awakens first came out. If you're somebody from that timeline, you probably know what I'm talking about. Next up, what we have from also The Force Awakens is this is a Lego feature from Han's freighter. You guys probably noticed that the door somewhere is missing. And behind it is the First Order walker from The Last Jedi. This was somewhere. This actually isn't a set that I think was in one of the movies. I'm not exactly familiar with where the set was seen in The Last Jedi, but it was made for the ending crate scene in The Last Jedi. And last but not least is Luke's hut from The Last Jedi. You can see that it has a porg next to it. And there are some inside features around, but I would not be able to show those to you. Alright. And that concludes the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga collection.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite set was from this video. And keep in mind that I actually have a bunch of other Star Wars videos that I have posted from today. There's a ranking of all the Star Wars TV shows, the movies. You can check those out over on my YouTube channel. And I've also done a bunch of Star Wars polls on my community tab. If you're interested in getting involved in any of that stuff, you can head over to my community tab on my channel and vote away. Anyway, I'll see you guys later, and happy May the 4th.